In this quick tip tutorial, we're going to take a look at several different ways that we can quickly add automation within Studio Pro. So here I've got a My Tai loaded up, and I've already recorded a chord progression here, and we'll just go ahead and give a quick listen to this as it is. Okay, so you get the idea. Let's come back to the beginning of the song. Now, what if we'd like to open up the filter on some of these chords here? All we would need to do is come to the top of our My Tai, and this is going to be the same for any virtual instrument that you're using, even third party. We can click on this automation button. Let's switch this to touch. And then now I'm going to go ahead and play back. We don't even need to enter into record. I'll just press the space bar to play back. And then while it's playing, I'm going to adjust the filter cutoff here. And we'll spacebar to stop and comma to come back to the beginning of the song. And you can see that our instrument track has switched over to the automation mode, and we can see what we've written here. We can come in and grab any of these points and make adjustments. Keep in mind that these are going to snap if the snap is turned on here. So if you want to be more precise and freely move these, just be sure to turn that off, and then you'll be able to move these without that snapping behavior. Now I'm going to press A on the QWERTY keyboard to take this instrument track out of the automation display. Now we're back into the normal view. Let's close out our My Tai and double click on this MIDI part. And we can see that within our editor, within the parameter automation lane, there is no automation that is recorded here. So when we make use of this method, it's going to be added. If we click on this bottom little button here and expand that out, we can see that we have an automation track that's been created. We do have a different method where we can add the automation directly within the part here, and we'll take a look at that in a more detailed video in the future, but right now we're just really quickly covering a couple of methods here. But let's go ahead and Control Z to undo, and I'm going to right click, and we'll just actually remove that. Now another method that we can make use of is if we open up our virtual instrument, if we click on the cutoff button, we can see that up in the top left corner it says cutoff. If I click on the resonance, it's going to switch to resonance. But we'll come back again to the cutoff, and then we have this A. If I go ahead and click once on that, then that's going to automatically switch, and I can then come in and add some points here. If I would like to manually add this automation, let's come here. Click, click, and click. We'll open that filter up here, and we'll do a bit of a slower opening up here. Let's take this up, and then this one, we'll do an even slower opening. We could even activate the paint tool here and draw this information in. And again, we'll take a look at that in a future video. And let's go ahead and play this back and give a listen. Okay, so I think you get a more natural sound when you're actually grabbing the particular parameter and adjusting it in real time. But you can see this method, if you want to be more precise and make adjustments to the automation based on the grid, this could be another method that you can use. And also take note that on our cutoff, whenever we've added automation to a particular parameter, we're going to have this circle that shows up within the middle of the knob, indicating that it does have automation that's been added. And it has this orangish color because we are in touch mode. If I were to change this to read to protect that automation, we can see that that changes green, and then we can no longer add new automation when it's in read mode. It's just going to read the existing information. Now, what about for level changes or the audio? Let's come to the mix console. We'll go ahead and hover and pull this up a little bit. So at the bottom of our channel, we have this auto off. We can click on this and change this to touch. And then let's comma to come back to the beginning of the song. I'll go ahead and play back. And you can see as I'm moving the fader, that information is being recorded up above. Okay, and we'll spacebar to stop. Let's close out the mix console, and then we'll come to this button at the bottom to open up the automation. Now we can see that we have two different lanes, one for our filter cutoff, which we can see labeled here, and then one for our volume. Now, one thing to keep in mind when we're working with automation is that instrument tracks are by default not going to have any automation lanes that are applied to them. But if I were to press T to add an audio track, let's go ahead and click on OK. We can see we have that same automation button in the bottom left corner, and if I click on this, our audio tracks are automatically going to have lanes for our volume and panning. So if you have an instrument that you've recorded or a vocal and you would like to apply volume or panning automation, then you can just click on this button. These lanes will already be there ready to go. So of course we can again come in and just click to add these points and manually add our automation. We can again come to the paint tool by clicking here or pressing 5, and then we can draw this information in as well. Now keep in mind that our snap is turned off, so we can freely draw this in, but if this was on, then it's going to snap to the quantized value that we have here, which is 16th notes. So then when I draw, that's going to snap, which you can't see because we're at a higher resolution. Let's take this down to quarter note. And then we'll come back. And now you can see that snapping behavior is going to be applied to what we manually draw in with the paint tool. Now, if we'd like to remove the automation that we've drawn in, we can come back to the arrow tool, come to an empty area out to the right-hand side here. Let's left click and hold and drag to select those points. And then I can just press delete on the QWERTY keyboard to remove those out. Then we can come to the automation button in the bottom left and click once on that to collapse those. Now our top track is still showing the automation view, so if we right click on this, we can see that we have show hide automation, and we can click on that to hide that view. And then if I press A on the QWERTY keyboard, we can switch both of these at the same time to the automation view. Okay, so we're going to wrap up here, and we'll take a deeper look into automation. It's a really deep topic, and there's lots that we can do within Studio One. But for now, I just wanted to quickly show how we can capture our automation, and we'll just wrap up here. But before we go, if you're interested in speeding up your learning curve with Studio Pro, I do provide one-on-one training over Zoom directly with me. So if you're interested in that, check out the pinned comment below or the description area of this video.